All right, guys, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about CGC versus CBCS prices and which sells for more. Let's go. Today's video is brought to you by comicbook_pressing on Instagram. Protect your comic book investment for as little as $12 by using Eric from comicbook_pressing on Instagram. He can press any grade or tier of book, and make sure you use my promo code BURK54 to get free shipping back to you on your first order. Again, today's video is brought to you by comicbook_pressing on Instagram. What's up, everyone? My name is Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing prices from CGC and CBCS, and the results might shock you. Before we do that though, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload new content. Now, I've always heard that CGC books sell for more. I've never actually took the time to look it up to see. And I've also always heard that CBCS grades harder, or yeah, they just grade harder than CGC. And you know, I don't have any CBCS books in my collection, but that is just something I've heard. In today's video, like I said, we're going to be comparing prices for CGC books versus CBCS books. And what I did is I compiled a list of 3 different books that I actually have in my collection. And we're going to be talking about the prices for those books for CGC versus CBCS. Now, I was going to do the last 3 sold for each, but it looks like there's a lot more CGC books that have been selling versus CBCS books. I think just a lot more people have CGC books in their collection versus CBCS books. So what I did here is I went off the last 3 sold for CBCS, and then I looked at the date on those and tried to find a book that was sold from CGC on that date or within a day or so of that being sold. So the first book up I want to talk about is Venom #3, the first appearance of Null. We're talking about the first print here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the 3 books that have been sold, what the prices were, and what the difference was for CBCS. On Venom 3, the first print, first appearance of Null, on April 5th, we had a recent sale of CBCS of $345. On March 30th, we had a sale of $315. And then on February 23rd, which was the most recent sale after that, we had a 9.8, these are all 9.8 sales, I forgot to say that. All of these books I'm talking about today are 9.8s. And we had a CBCS 9.8 sale from February 23rd of $290. I did include shipping in every single one of these. So for these 3 books, we had an average of $316. For CGC, for Venom 3 first appearance of Null, first print, we had a sale on April 5th of $338. On March 30th, we had a sale of $365. Then on February 23rd, we had a sale of $325 for an average sale of $342, which is $26 more than the CBCS average sale, which is an increase or a difference of 8.2%, which is, I was thinking it's gonna be usually, if we're looking at like CGC versus CBCS, I've always heard, like I said, that CGC sold for more. I was thinking it was gonna be closer to like 5%, maybe 10%. So 8% here, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a difference. So again, CGC 9.8, Venom 3 had an average sale recently of $342, while CBCS 9.8, Venom 3 first appearance of Null had an average sale of $316 for a difference of $26 and a difference of 8%. So let's move on to Ultimate Fallout 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. This book is super, super hot right now. Everyone is trying to grab a copy of this. I do have one. It's in a 9.6. You can see it right there. Pretty cool. But we're talking about 9.8 prices. And again, I'm going to talk about CBCS first. A CBCS 9.8 recently sold for on April 23rd for $2,900. On April 12th, we had a sale of $2,300. Then on March 17th, we had a sale of $3,000 for an average of $2,733. If we're looking at CGC 9.8s for Ultimate Fallout 4 on the same dates, April 23rd, we had a sale of $3,100. On April 12th, I think the last one was April 23rd. Sorry, I don't know if I said that right. April 12th, we had a sale of $3,000. And then on March 17th, we had another sale of $3,000 for an average of $3,033, which is a difference of $300 and a difference of 11%. That means CGC 9.8 books are selling for 11% more in a CGC 9.8 for Ultimate Fallout 4 than they are for CBCS and a 9.8, which is kind of crazy because like that's a ton of money. Like, you know, we can talk all day long about how CGC or CBCS books, you know, cost a certain amount or cost less or cost more to get their books graded. But $300 and a 9.8, that is a pretty big difference. And 11%, that is a huge, huge difference here. So again, Ultimate Fallout 4 CGC 9.8s had an average sale of $3,033 and a 9.8. The CBCS 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 had an average sale of $2,733, a difference of 11% in favor of CGC. That is the first two books I've talked about here. Both of them have been in favor of CGC. Next book up, which is the last book up I want to talk about, is Batman 404. This is the very first book in the Batman Year One storyline, which I'm a pretty big Batman fan, if anyone knows me. And also Batman Year One is just like kind of considered, you know, the best Batman story ever written. So Batman 404 is the first book in that run. So let's talk about 9.8s for those. On March 25th, we had a CBCS 9.8 sale of $227.50. On March 20th, we had a 9.8 CBCS sale of $231. And then on February 1st, we had a 9.8 CBCS sale of $230 for an average of $229.50. Let's talk about CGC here. CGC for the same book, Batman 404 and a 9.8. On the same dates, March 25th, we had a sale of $338 and a 9.8. That is a huge difference right there. That's already $100 more than any of the other CBCS books in a 9.8. On March 20th, we had a CGC 9.8 sell for $265. And then on February 1st, we had a sale of $250 for an average of $284.33, which is basically a difference of $55 in favor of CGC. CGC 9.8 for Batman 404 sold for 24% more than a CBCS 9.8. That is honestly insane to me. Like, that's absolutely crazy. So if we're looking at averages here, we're probably looking at an average around 15% or more for these three books, about the average of what CGC sells for more than CBCS. So, you know, obviously CBCS, you can send in books to have their signature verified, which is really awesome. I need to do that. In CGC, I just prefer their labels, their cases, and it's just honestly, to me, the gold standard. That's why I only have CGC books in my collection. But also, as you can see here, we're seeing these books selling for a ton more dollars than CBCS. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think of my video today. Did you think that CGC books were going to sell for more? And all of that and more. Again, my name is Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. And as always, go Cats, Cowabunga, and it's Morphin time.